All right guys, and this is it, the shop video update 3. This has been the biggest reno and project I've ever done in my life. The past 4 months have blew by, but I'm extremely excited to show you what we've done. We'll just start off with what we didn't finish. We didn't finish epoxying the floors and finish on deciding what I want to do with the floors because I keep changing my mind and I really want to make sure whatever I choose, it's absolutely perfect. So I just keep changing my mind and I'm just going to wait. I decided to wait a couple months and really figure out what I want to do. The only other things we didn't finish was the storage room, all the shelves in my office. There's just too much just to get done. So we really wanted to finish the main space to get working. So we're actually going to start off with what it looked like before. So walking in here, show you the red burgundy trim. It was so outdated and gross. We re-drywalled all the walls and we finished painting them. So the color of the walls, we'll show a quick shot of what it used to look like here, then during the process, and now. So this is a big change. So the walls aren't quite super white. They have a little bit of gray in them. So we did it for a few reasons. One, it's easier on your eyes when you're working on for long periods of time. And then once you do that super white look, you get that like that surgical room look.
Yeah, kind of hospital feel.
Yeah, you get that hospital feel, which is kind of good for some things, but not for working and not the overall look of the place. Then we just did like a dark gray trim on the baseboards and the doors. So one of the bigger projects, obviously shown here, we had 2 washrooms before. We knocked out the wall, we took out the concrete, re-poured the concrete, redid the plumbing, and put in a new washroom. So I'll show you here. All right, so now moving on to obviously the hallway area. So it's kind of crazy. I just rewatched my very first video back in August. So now let's go check out the main space. Offices. So we still haven't set up the other computer and plotter because this glass just got put in yesterday evening. Like it just got finished. I think it looks absolutely incredible.
It finishes off the area so nicely.
Yeah, and it's so nice to work in because you can be here in the morning, turn off the shop lights and still be able to work with the cars in front of you or edit photos. Spend so much time editing. So like we said, one of the last big decisions was putting in the full trench, shown here. It was such a big job because we already finished the walls and painting and then decided to get the floor jackhammered and re-poured to do this. So we'll show you here that not always everything goes as planned. So it looks like hydraulic line bleed, oil all over the walls, all the way up the walls. So sometimes things like this happen, too much pressure, bad seals, lines explode. Shit happens, I understand. But this is not cool. Freshly painted drywall, finished, looks amazing. Now we have to redo it. Accidents happen with hydraulic lines and equipment hit ceilings, which really was not fun just because we had a couple issues, but that's the way it goes. So what we decided to do with the lighting, we did 1x4 foot strip LEDs. There's, I think, how many lumens is in here? 60,000?
Yeah, I think it was about 60,000.
There's 60,000 lumens just in this bay. I'll show you a clip here of when we received all the lights. There were so many. This was such an exciting day.
Oh yeah.
When all the lights came in, it was the best day. Another big thing is we can actually dim these lights. We can really drop down the light to be able to work on it and be able to find scratches and different things a little bit easier because sometimes you don't need mad light. So this was super important that we got that done. Plumbing. So we're moving on to plumbing and ventilation. We'll start with, we obviously have hot and cold taps at the front of the shop and at the back of the shop, shown here. So if one person is prepping a car and one person is wrapping a car, they can completely do it without even bothering each other.
Such a nice thing to have.
Such a nice thing to have. And almost as nice as the trench, because we've never squeegeed this thing yet.
No.
Like, we've worked in here.
We haven't had to.
We haven't had to, yeah, because it naturally flows in, which is so nice. One of the big things that worked out well, this was an old chemical lab that was in here. There was labs and offices. but everything, there's so much ventilation. So when I was talking to the main contractor, I really wanted to reuse a lot of this ventilation, obviously with new piping and new systems. But what we did is we have all the fans constantly recirculating between the offices, the shop, and upstairs through outside and through a filter. So when we're doing our installs and our coatings, everything is super clean, less dust, and it keeps it cooler. So less humidity when we're using lots of hot water. One big bonus this summer, it's gonna be nice, is it's AC.
That's gonna be insane.
I've never had AC any workspace ever in my life. Decided to put sonos through the whole shop. So we have them built into the ceiling. They look pretty flawless, and so we're like a big part of working when we work these mad long hours and we do these jobs. We love it, but we love listening to music. So we're able to listen to it just perfectly.
Keeps us sane.
Keeps us sane, yeah. And then yeah, all the outlets and the plugs are all on separate circuits, 20 amp breakers, because we always had issues with using Metrovac heated blowers to dry cars and blowing fuses. One thing we're not short of is storage. So you may notice there's no toolboxes in here because I do not want toolboxes. I don't want clutter on the ground. I don't want it to be like a normal shop. I want this to be like a surgical room.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say it.
Surgical room, but not.
Yeah. Like I want it to be a place where we can work on these cars. Quick cleanup at the end of the day. Everything's on roll carts. We put them in their certain storage areas, and it's clean. Okay. Now this is like one of my favorite spots because obviously shown here is what it looked like from the very beginning when we first walked into here to where it's framed, to drywalled, to hit with the Bobcat, to refinished and repainted, and now here. So I couldn't be more happy with how this space looks. One thing with the bay door that's behind you, we decided to put in remote clickers and I went super OCD and crazy with the security on this place, so everything's secure, like insane.
I mean, when you're working on that caliber of cars, it's not a bad thing though.
Yeah,
so
went like super nuts with security, but that's what we needed to do. But we also have remote clickers, so even like pulling a car out to bring it to the front or even driving in, once everything's disarmed and unlocked, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And it's funny because a lot of people will be like, why is it such a big deal to have clickers on a commercial space? Because they don't come with them. Commercial spaces don't have remote clickers. Most of them don't. So it's nice to have, and it's just a little feature. That's everything.
That about covers it for now. Like you said, until like the floors get done and
and then
stuff like that. But that's all just kind of finishing touches at this point.
Exactly. And over next year, we'll finish the floors, and obviously all the baseboard trim has to be done in here. And there's certain little things, but
yeah,
we've got a lot done in the past 4 months. It's a workable space.
You gotta show them how satisfying that view is though, with everything centered down it.
So I just want to do a quick thank you to Sean and Seb at Project X. I'm pretty crazy and OCD with everything in my life, so I gave these guys a run for their money. They did such a great job with everything that went good and went bad. They made everything good again. And special thanks to those guys. And yeah, I can't wait to get going. And we have some insane projects coming up in 2019, and I can't wait to have you guys come see this place in person. So thanks, guys.